Hey Wesley, it's Craig Lutes, coming to you from the Mackinac River in McLean County. Hopefully you can hear some of the riffles in the water behind me. It's kind of neat. And never mind some of the melting snow that's bound to fall on my head throughout the video. Just wanted to continue our conversation about Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech by sharing with you my dream for our Earth. Pastor Justin kicked off this series with a section of Dr. King's speech that was borrowed from Isaiah chapter 40, saying that every valley shall be exalted, every mountain and hill shall be made low. Just prior in his speech, Dr. King had borrowed from the 5th chapter of Amos, when he said, "Let justice roll on like a river, righteousness like a never-falling stream." Powerful imagery, isn't it? I think so. And I think it's imagery that's based on an almost undeniable beauty and awe of nature, an innate appreciation that I think we all instinctually share. Now, as we all work to better celebrate the strength and the resilience and the richness of life that comes from the diversity of people, my dream is that we also recognize the strength and diversity applies to the natural world around us too. Aldo Leopold, who's probably North America's most famous conservationist and is widely considered to be the first to influence thinking on wildlife and land management on a wider ecological scale instead of just on an isolated species. He gave life to this very idea of strength in natural diversity in his seminal text, the Sand County Almanac. He was writing from his farm up north of Madison, Wisconsin in the 1940s when he relates this need to preserve a holistic ecosystem, from the fungi underground to the largest apex predators and everything in between and beyond, relating these things to what most of us probably have to admit struggling with. I know I do, in our families, in our workplaces, in our church, the very things that people from Dr. King to Jesus have helped us to combat. Leopold writes that a person is a member of a community of interdependent parts. His instincts prompt him to compete for his place in the community, but it's his ethics that prompt him also to cooperate, perhaps in order that there may be a place to compete for. The land ethic simply enlarges the boundaries of the community to include soils, waters, plants, and animals, or collectively, the land. Now that sums up my dream pretty well, I think, that we as humans can recognize our own relative inexperience on the grand scale of creation and biological phenomena, and that we as Christians can lead the way, doing what Christians do, being humble enough to recognize the consequences of our urges to dominate, to ignore, to fear the things that we don't fully understand, but to be wise enough to see the value of clean water or intact ecosystems beyond the short-term economical value of consumption, to go beyond the easy, beyond the comfortable, beyond the conventional, to show exceptional love and care. In this case, by preserving and restoring God's handiwork and maintaining a healthier give and take with the land. Pastor Justin prompted this series with perhaps one of life's most powerful questions. What's our legacy going to be? And what do you want to leave for the future? Now, to me, what better legacy to leave? A very real legacy that will last hundreds, perhaps even thousands of generations, enabling the future of peace and prosperity that I think we all desire, than by ensuring that we have a healthy earth on which we can cooperate and not have to compete. A world in which our kids and their kids, they don't have to read about what was here or be told you should have seen the vibrance of a prairie or how abundant the wildlife was, and instead able to live it. As the saying goes, the earth isn't ours, it's just our turn.